Good evening. Dismissed Bamban Mayor Alice Guo once again faces the Senate as the chamber continues its probe into her alleged links to Philippine offshore gaming operators. For the details, our Chari Abarca is reporting live from the Senate. Chari?
Neil, today the Senate panel on women continued its probe into Alice Guo's alleged pogo ties. The investigation ran for nearly 6 hours. It covered the depth and breadth of Guo's pogo ties as well as her escape from the Philippines. The biggest revelation made during the hearing was that a former PNP chief was allegedly bribed to help Guo and her siblings escape from the country despite being under an immigration lookout bulletin. According to PAGCOR Senior Vice President Raul Villanueva, PAGCOR received information that a former PNP chief allegedly received bribes. Senator Risa Ontiveros asked Villanueva what kind of assistance the PNP personnel provided to Guo, but Villanueva said he couldn't confirm the information. Another highlight of the hearing was Guo's admission that she signed the last page of her counter-affidavit on the human trafficking complaint filed against her before she fled the country. The complaint was filed by the Department of Justice. Guo's counter-affidavit was dated August 14, days after she fled the Philippines on July 18. Senators also grilled Sual, Pangasinan Mayor Dong Kalugay, who is Guo's alleged lover. Kalugay denied having a romantic relationship with Guo. He also denied having business dealings with Guo despite evidence pointing that they have at least 5 businesses. However, Senator Ontiveros presented information suggesting that Guo and Kalugay may have a love child together. Senators also quizzed Sheila Guo, who was earlier tagged as Alice's sister, Cassandra Ong, the alleged business associate of Alice, and Catherine Salazar, the ousted mayor's secretary. Neil, before the hearing was suspended, Senator Ontiveros reminded Alice Guo that the committee has not lifted its contempt citation against her. This means that the panel will request the Valenzuela court to allow Guo to appear in the Senate hearing again. Back to you, Neil.
Chari, I believe ito yung pang-13 na hearing ng Senado regarding dito sa issues hounding former Bamban Mayor Alice Guo, no? Ano yung end goal na nakikita dito ng Senado? How long will these hearings continue?
Neil, sa ngayon wala pa tayong balita kung how long magra-run itong proceedings o yung pagdinig ng Senado patungkol sa kaso ni Alice Guo. Pero malinaw na gustong mapanagot ng mga senador itong si Bamban Mayor Alice Guo at yung mga tinatawag na kakonsyaba niya dito sa mga alegasyon na kinakaharap nila, kabilang na yung human trafficking.
Dun sa latter part ng report mo, no, na-mention mo yung reminder from Senator Hontiveros na yung contempt order against Alice Guo is still in place. So saan ngayon nagsistay si Alice Guo?
Neil, if you can recall, nag-issue kasi ng arrest order yung Tarlac Court against ex-Bamban Mayor Alice Guo, and available kasi itong arrest order na ito, and if you can also recall, hindi kasi nag-post ng bail itong si Alice Guo. So ang nag-take ng custody niya is yung PNP. So ngayon nasa PNP custodial facility siya, and doon pa rin siya nananatili. Doon siya dumisyo after ng Senate hearing.
Chari, matanong ko na rin, no, since we're talking about the end goal of the Senate dito sa mga hearings na ito, are they eyeing to file charges once everything's said and done, no? Natapos na itong mga hearings. Nagpaplano ba mag-file ng charges itong Senado, or perhaps recommend the filing of charges against the individuals na makikitang involved dito sa iba't ibang issues na ito? Nandiyan na yung Pogo issue. That's number 1. Nandiyan na rin yung paano nakalabas si Alice Guo ng bansa. I believe they are also investigating that. Tama ba, Chari?
Yes, Neil, correct ka. For sure, masasama to sa committee report na inihahanda ng Senate Panel on Women na pinangungunahan ni Senator Ontiveros. And sa ngayon, Neil, wala pa kasing concrete na balita tungkol sa ano yung specifically inaay ng Senate regarding this. But for sure, Neil, may isasama to.
Another question, Chari, pwede pa natin i-clarify kung paano nadawit dito sa issue na ito si Sual Mayor?
Neil, nauna kasing ni-raise ni Senate President Pro Tempore Jinggoy Estrada yung alegasyon na itong si Sual, Pangasinan Mayor Dong Kalugay is in a relationship daw with Alice Guo. And Neil, dito sa pagdinig ng Senado, kung saan humarap itong si Kalugay, ay dininay niya na karelasyon niya daw si Alice. And ganun din naman si Mayor Alice na nauna na niya ng dininay. Ang sabi ni Kalugay is magkaibigan lamang sila.
Chari, now let's look at what's going to happen next. Kailan yung susunod na hearing at ano yung inaay na i-discuss doon sa bagong hearing na yun? Especially now, you mentioned na mayroong mga bagong details na na-unveil in today's hearing. Nandyan yung mayroon daw na dawit na ex-PNP chief, no, na you mentioned in your report. So will they be tackling that in the next hearing?
Yes, Neil. For sure, matatakal itong bagong revelasyon na meron daw iniimbestagahan ang pagkor na merong maaring involved na former PNP chief or former PNP personnel na naka-receive ng bribe para makalabas ng bansa si Mayor Alice Guo at yung mga kakonsyaba niya na sina Sheila Guo and Wesley Guo. Pero Neil, wala pa kasing balita sa Senate Panel on Women kung kailan yung next na hearing ng komite.
Last question ko na lang, Chari, no? When these things are mentioned, kapag may mga ganitong information na nilalapag dito sa Senado, particularly itong involvement daw ng isang former PNP chief, as you know, one of the senators, si Senator Bato de la Rosa, is a former PNP chief himself. Does he have anything to say about this matter? Meron ba siyang impormasyon na maaaring maibigay regarding this?
Neil, sa katunayan, nilinaw lang ni Senator Bato de la Rosa kanina na hindi siya yung tinutukoy na PNP chief, former PNP chief na involved dito sa Pogo, link kay Alice Guo. Pero wala siyang naibulgar, Neil, tungkol dito sa alegasyon na to.
Pero nilinaw agad, no, ni Senator na hindi siya ang tinutukoy
Yes,
na ex-PNP chief dito sa revelasyon na ito sa Senado ngayong araw. Okay, maraming salamat, Chari Abarca, reporting live from the Senate. Tropical cyclone wind signal number 1 remains hoisted over parts of Luzon as tropical depression Hener maintains its strength. In its 5 p.m. bulletin on Tuesday, September 17, Pag-asa says 4 areas in Luzon remain under signal number 1, where minimal to minor impacts from strong winds are expected. Hener was last spotted some 235 kilometers west-northwest of Baguio City as of 4 p.m. The cyclone packs maximum sustained winds of 55 kilometers per hour and gustiness of up to 70 kilometers per hour. Hener may exit the Philippine area of responsibility Tuesday night or Wednesday morning, September 18. Pag-asa expects Hener to have limited intensification, although it may reach tropical storm category by Wednesday morning. According to the State Weather Bureau, Hener and Tropical Storm Pulsan continue to enhance the southwest monsoon, which may bring rains over several parts of the country. The Philippine Navy records fewer Chinese vessels in various features within the West Philippine Sea. According to the Philippine Navy, a total of 157 Chinese vessels were monitored in the West Philippine Sea from September 10 to 16. The total number is lower than the 207 Chinese vessels spotted from September 3 to 9, the highest number recorded this year. The most recent data also shows a significant decrease compared to the 400 foreign ships monitored last year in the West Philippine Sea, of which 85% were from China. In a press briefing on Tuesday, September 17, Armed Forces of the Philippines spokesperson Colonel Francel Margaret Padilla says the 157 Chinese vessels consist of China Coast Guard vessels, People's Liberation Army Navy ships, Chinese maritime militia vessels, and a research survey vessel. Based on the data she shared with the media, most of the Chinese vessels were spotted in Escoda Shoal, with 65 vessels recorded from September 10 to 16. Escoda Shoal has recently seen several confrontations between Manila and Beijing, including the China Coast Guard's ramming of BRP Teresa Magbanwa. The Philippine Coast Guard ship was pulled out from Escoda after its 5-month deployment due to the vessel sustaining damage and its crew becoming sick. Beijing claims most of the South China Sea despite an international tribunal ruling that its assertions have no merit. The Philippine Army is verifying reports alleging that some of its reservists are part of alleged rapist Apollo Quiboloy's group of armed men, or the so-called Angels of Death. Army Deputy Spokesperson Colonel Ray Balido says they will closely coordinate with law enforcement agencies to verify reports on the alleged involvement of Army reservists with Quiboloy's alleged private army. Balido notes that the media arm of the Kingdom of Jesus Christ, Sunshine Media Network International, was accredited as a Philippine Army Reservists affiliated unit in 2015. Balido clarifies that they have no control over this unit and reservists are not authorized to be armed. He says if proven to have committed violations against their oath, the unit under SMNI will face disciplinary measures. Police earlier said Quiboloy allegedly warned his young victims that an angel of death would get them if they broke the code of secrecy on the religious leader's alleged sexual crimes. Davao City Police Chief Colonel Hansel Marantan likewise revealed the so-called Angels of Death were Quiboloy's armed men based on information authorities received from one of its members. Quiboloy's camp has denied the pastor having a private army. The Philippine National Police formed special composite and tracker teams to investigate individuals who harbored alleged rapist Apollo Quiboloy and to search the whereabouts of former presidential spokesperson Harry Roque. According to the PNP, the teams will consist of Criminal Investigation and Detection Group and Anti-Cybercrime Group officials. PNP Chief General Romel Marbil says police mobilized a dedicated investigation team to pursue those who sheltered Quiboloy and obstructed justice. Following weeks of searching, Quiboloy surrendered to authorities after being given a 24-hour ultimatum on September 8. The Kingdom of Jesus Christ founder is facing charges of human trafficking and child abuse. Meanwhile, Marbil says they also mobilized the separate tracker teams to hunt down Roque following the arrest order issued by the House of Representatives. Roque has an outstanding arrest warrant from the House because of his failure to submit required documents proving that he has no connection to Philippine offshore gaming operators' hubs. According to Marbil, police are committed to executing the arrest order while ensuring human rights are protected. Roque is being linked to Lucky South 99, the raided Pogo hub in Porac, Pampanga, after documents with his signature were found by operatives. However, Roque repeatedly denied having any links with the Pogo hub. These are the stories you need to know today. I'm Neil Mercado. Follow INQUIRER.net on Facebook, X, YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, and Reddit. For more stories, visit INQUIRER.net. Good evening.